Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Michelle's Little Gems. So let me address what's going on the screen first, and then I'll go into a little rant about me, what I do, and what this channel will be about. First of all, welcome to the channel. I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe and you become part of my little family over here and welcome me. Well, I've been a part of the reborn or silicone doll community for a while. But again, I'll go into that shortly. But on the screen, I am showing you how positionable this Cuddle doll is. I have installed armatures into the Cuddle body so that you can pose it in additional ways and I'm showing you how well I've stuffed the little bum and all of the parts of this doll has been stuffed very well. I'm pointing out certain things, mainly this right here on the neck. I poured the head in a soft pour. So not taking into consideration that when you put it on the flange or the neck ring, that it'll somehow not have as much rigidity or to hold it. So I've learned since, but in any event, back to the doll. This sculpt is called Pudgy. It is my own personal sculpt. I have gone through classes. I have sculpted, thrown away several pieces that did not come out well. And this is one of my first successful sculpts, I will say. And I was going for those cheeks. The cheeks reminds me of my twins. They had these, especially one twin more than the other. He had these saggy cheeks, and I wanted to create that in this sculpt. And he had these beautiful lips. I think I went for creating one of my twins, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, back to this sculpt. It's called Pudgy because it's just a little pudge. But I am an excellent sculptor. I'm not tooting my horn. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say excellent because I'm still fairly new, having done this almost close to 2 years now. But I am a way better sculptor than I am a painter. Let me put it like that. Let me rephrase it. I'm a much better sculptor than I am a painter. Actually, getting into sculpting, it came so natural to me. And the only reason I threw away so many is because I am just like that. That's just my personality. Maybe I'm told, it's you September people. Okay. Well, maybe that's us September people. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but even in that perfectionism, I still see that there are some valid flaws. For instance, like, I sculpted this head too soft, but at the same time, the sculpt itself is pretty decent. I've opened the mouth. I've placed in a textured tongue, so it looks literally like a real tongue because it is textured. And I'm learning, painting. So the painting isn't the best. The rooting definitely isn't. Rooting and I are fighting. I don't know if it'll be something that I'm going to perfect at all, but I'm fighting with rooting. I'm showing you this cute little teddy bear romper and long sleeve outfit that I got from Temu. I'm going to put on him, so he'll be a boy. So I don't know about rooting. My goal here was to paint it, to bring it to life, to see how the sculpt would look look painted. And I've done a couple, as you'll see. So I painted it because I wanted to see it come to life. And I wanted to see how it would look, completed, with being painted. So again, I am not that great at painting. I will continue to practice, however, because I want to paint the ones that I keep for myself. Why am I keeping this one for myself? Because I'm not decided yet on what I want to keep for myself. This is the Cuddle head. I am working on limbs. Actually, I finished sculpting the limbs. As I'm talking, I'll pop up some pictures for you to see. I have sculpted limbs. Um, so I want one as a cuddle. I want one with limbs. And then I'm working on a full body sculpt. The full body is cute. The full body sculpt is a different head. I will show you the head in a picture on the screen of the full body that I'm working on. But that is on the back burner for now because I feel like I need to continue to work on the cuddles as far as making them. Let me just say my overall goal is to make the sculpts to sell to whomever, whether it be artists or collectors who want to paint them for themselves. I do not want to take on the role of painting for anyone. Granted, I am selling this cuddle that's here at a very discounted price because I do realize that it is, my beginner's work in painting and it's not, it's not its best, but only that's the reason why I'm selling it discounted. I do have a website where I'm going to release the sculpts, the cuddle head sculpts to be purchased. But I also have an eBay, and that's where I am listing this cuddle sculpt as well as another one. What was I saying? So yeah, I'm not decided on not what. I know I want a cuddle and I know I want the one with the limbs for myself, but I'm trying to, in the meantime, decide what, skin tone and things of that nature. I'm trying to work out a little game plan on how I want my personal, the one that I'm keeping in my personal collection to look. So yeah. And I'm trying to build. So why hold on when I have the opportunity to make more? So like I said, this one is for sale. I had wanted to make this video a long time ago, but the video was not coming out clear with the camera that I'm using. And you'll even see that in certain parts, it's kind of like a slow motion. There's something wrong with the recording process, but most of all, I wanted the video to be clear, 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 clear. And I don't even think it's clear enough for me because I wanted all of the imperfections to show. And you're probably like, why would you want the imperfections to show? You'd want to hide those. No, I want to show the imperfections because I'm not trying to hide anything. This is art. And art is a process. And I come from an art background. So for me, it may seem imperfect, and I believe there are to be imperfections, but at the same time, I don't want anyone to receive it and be like, oh, well, I didn't know, you know what I mean? Things that I may perceive as being imperfect, and then they also perceive it and be like, well, this wasn't. No, I want you to know what's imperfect. For instance, I would say the imperfect thing on this one are the eyebrows. I applied them with silicone, but something went wrong in the matting process. I used the red hair that is rooted in the eyelashes, but clearly you can see, you can't really tell that the eyebrows are red, but at the same time, it does give a hint of an eyebrow. I actually attempted to do the head, and this one gave me so much difficulty. I 86'd it. I was like, nope, we're not doing that. This is going to be a bald one, but I find it to be so sweet. Let me tell you something. Holding this one, the way the head falls, even with that extreme floppiness because of the softness of the mold. It feels so good. I walk by because I keep this one until it's sold. I keep this one and the other one in one of those little Temu chairs, and I walk by and I just grab and cuddle. It just feels he feels so good in your arms. Oh my goodness, he feels so good in your arms. So I'm just showing you how he can be positioned. This body that I used for him and for all of, well, going at this point, all the cloth bodies that I've been using are from McPherson's. And it's a 22-inch cloth body. And it is the jointed limbs. But again, I've stuffed him well. And I've included the armature so that it doesn't just, the limbs don't just move, but you can bend the knees, you can bend the arms, and you can position him. And see, I'm bringing him up much closer. Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, he feels so good in your arms. I can't, okay, let me stop. But yes, so he's all dressed. He looks adorbs. And, you know, I've been watching for quite a few years in the reborn community, watching people's videos and stuff like that. And you know, there's some like favoritism and not so much favoritism for cuddles, but let me tell you something. They have their place. And I mean, if you're starting out, cuddles are the way to go. They're the most inexpensive way to go if you want a realistic silicone doll. And there are ways that you can dress the cuddle to make the cuddle look realistic. Because tell me something, looking at this doll here, could you tell that it doesn't have full limbs? No way. You would think that there are full limbs. All right, so we've switched over to, we're switching over to the next doll. And this one is going to be actually rooted. Yes, I'm switching over to this one. Now, this one I already had her in a onesie. I've dressed her as a girl, and as you can see, yes, she is rooted. Her painting came out pretty decent. The previous one I was going for a Caucasian skin tone, and this one here, I was going for a biracial skin tone in her. I went a little dark on her lips, but I was able to go back and take down that darkness of the lips. I don't know what happened there. Like I said, I am new to the painting process, and I will get it because practice makes perfect, right? It's a whole other ball game. Like I said, I come from an artist background. And the artist background for me is sketching, paper sketching. Like, you know, the first major for me in college was art and design. Going to classes where the models came in, dropped their robe, and you had to sketch them nude. That was my initial background. And as I was going to classes, my I won't say names, but two family members were like, "Does that make money? Why are you doing that? How are you going to live in how does that pay?" Two things about me: very artistic and creative, and analytical. So I went to my secondary interest, which was law. So I have a major, I have a bachelor's in law, and my intent was to go to law school, but that never happened. How many have heard man plans, God laughs? And yes, it's true. I mean, but one thing I will say, don't listen to anyone. Do what makes your heart sing. follow your passion. Your passion is tied to your purpose. And even in this late in life, I feel like there's a rekindled passion in sculpting and even painting. Even though I'm not good at it, I feel there's a rekindled passion in these art dolls. I am a beginner, and when I go back to saying, this is art, it is art, and I have to show myself grace because, like I said, I am a perfectionist. I'm sorry, I am. And I'm quick to say, this doesn't look good, and throw it in the garbage. And I really don't have that luxury to do that when you are investing money in clay and especially silicone. No, we can't do that. But I have to, I say have grace because understanding that it's art, and I think that there is the imposter syndrome that just rings in your ear sometimes, where it doesn't look like this one, or it doesn't look like this person's, or it doesn't. You're not. There's just so many things. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? No. There's so many voices that will come into your head, and you have to push them aside, and know yourself. Granted, sculpting silicones or painting silicone dolls, or it's not for everyone. For instance, I rooted this dolls here, and I will tell you that rooting is not for me. I'll try to do it for my own, but I wouldn't try to do this again. No, let me not lie. I am working on a little chocolate drop. I made a nice chocolate skin toned version of this sculpt, and I am rooting to here, or I'm attempting to do it. But I don't think, like I said, this is not something I enjoy. So it's not for me. So it's okay to say that certain things are not for you. It's good to know what areas you can, display a spirit of excellence, and what areas is like, this is not for you, you know? So rooting is one of those things. But when it comes to art and art dolls and art in general, everyone has a different expression. When it comes to sculptors, there are sculptors who they have a signature. It's the way that they may sculpt a nose, or the way that they may sculpt toes. It may be the way that they sculpt the eyes. It may be something that's signature to them. And even in that signature, we have to understand that we are sculpting and we are painting dolls that are meant to look lifelike. And in that lifelike process, we have to understand that none of us look the same. And we might say, oh, this one looks ugly, or that. Hello, dial that back. Ugly? Oh, I'm showing you here how her head does not fall like the other sculpt, because she was actually poured in EcoFlex 20, no slacker, so she's not soft like the previous one, where his was a soft blend, and the flange also was a soft blend. But like I said, I've learned that it's a learning process, and it's a growing process. That's art. So we can't say, ugh, that one's ugly, or ugh, I don't like. You don't have to like every one of them. You don't have to like this one or that one. But it's the same as human beings. We all look different. We all don't have the same nose. We all don't have the same mouth. We all don't have a double chin. We all aren't skinny. We all aren't plump. We all aren't fat. We all aren't, you know what I mean? There's so many variations of us as human beings. So there are going to be variations as dolls. And it's going to be the same in a sculpt, and it's going to be the same in a painting. But that's not to say that there's a way that the painting should be done right. For instance, you're not going to get a doll and then all of a sudden the paint starts to peel. Then there's something there. There's something that went wrong in the process. You don't expect to get a doll and and one side is painted darker than the other. No, those are the things that should be the same from doll to doll. The the process, or the overall look of the paint medium, um, that should be the same in every doll. But the same nose, no, it's not going to look like the other sculpt. Mouth, no, it's not going to look like the other sculpt. It's not. So I know I've just been ranting, but I just wanted you to have a bit of my background, and how I've come into this community. And I I have the online shop, like I said, for Michelle's Little Gems. I actually do sell practice faces. The practice faces were actually like my first practice sculpt. Was my first practice sculpt. So I'm selling the practice faces because it helps, especially if you're practicing to paint like myself, or perfecting it, to have something to practice on. So I think those are great. I'm going to upload a video to show you how you can use those practice faces and not just have them laying to the side. You can repurpose them. Um, so I have the website for Michelle's Little Gems. I also do have another website, and I'm not on here to promote that website, but I've been a business owner for going on 8 years, September, with another online website. So that's why I haven't been able to, even though I've been working on doing sculpts and all these other things in the background, it has been a while for me to get to uploading a video, and it'll probably be a slow go for me in getting to even that full body. But like I said, I'm happy to perfect even the cuddle heads, because even in the casting process, when you cast them, like I said, for cuddles, you can have that soft um, blend, but you have to know how to do it in a way that the head doesn't fall, like it's going to fall completely off of the flange like the first one. And it's not going to, the first one isn't going to fall off the flange, but it's very loose. But there's a way to do it where there's a happy medium between this girl and the boy before. So that is it. I just wanted to change these two on camera and get my first video up. They are for sale. I put them up for sale on my eBay account. Why? I don't know. I didn't do the website. I don't know. That's me being in my head. Like, oh my God, they're imperfect. I can't put them on the website. But anyway, I put them on the eBay website. They are for sale. There are some watchers, just letting you know. I will link the listings in the description box below. What else? Oh, I love watching, of course, all of your videos. If you are a content creator, I love watching videos. So to help with that, I have put in my community post some ideas, and I'll try to do it every week, where I put up ideas of content that you can do with your reborn or your silicone doll. Because I love watching the dolly content, and I just want to keep the momentum going with the community here. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have, please comment below and like the video as well. And hopefully you'll stick around by hitting that subscribe button. I will chat with you all later. Be blessed, everyone. Bye.